Alright guys, it is Saturday evening. Well, not quite evening, sun's still out, still hot. I'm standing in front of the Angkor Mondale restaurant. Mondale? I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. Fancy place, really fancy. I'm here because I'm purchasing some things from a friend of mine online. And she said when I got here to text her, and this is where she meets people when she's selling things. Really nice place though. Look at this. Too fancy for my blood. They have a nice little sitting area here. Shady, breezy while I'm waiting. Of course, I'll let you guys see exactly what I bought and give you the rundown on all the prices. We shall see. It was kind of far, so I did take a tuk-tuk. Luckily, that only cost $3, but it's like a 35-minute walk. Yeah. It is really hot today. It's like 94 degrees Fahrenheit, so I did not feel like walking, especially because this is on National Highway 6. The same street that the Salu market is on. And like I said, the walking isn't the issue, but as you can see, there's hardly any place you're walking where you're not going to be in the sunlight. It's all sun up and down this whole street. So the tuk-tuk was a good idea. There it is. Everybody say hi to Tiffany. From where?
Washington, D.C. or suburbs of D.C.
Washington, D.C. Don't hold that against her. It's where the government is, I know, but she's still a good person. Talk to you guys later. Alright guys, just finished my purchase there with Tiffany. Just wanted to show you the delicious sugarcane juice here. It's a beautiful sight. If you ever get over here, you got to try some of this. It's not too sweet. It's very addictive. Very good. All right, it is now Sunday. It's either late Sunday morning or early afternoon. It's right around noon. I'm not really sure. I slept really late due to the festivities last night. But I do have some good news. I went to a travel agency today, and that's another thing I really like about Cambodia. It's like in the West, some of these places wouldn't be open on a Sunday. These guys are open all the time. Late night, early morning, Sundays, holidays, they're always open. But this place came recommended by two different foreigners. And my buddy Rod basically told me yesterday that the information I received about having to leave to renew my visa was incorrect. And so he told me to try this place. And it's the same place another person had told me to try previously when it was time to renew. So we just went there, and here is the situation. I can stay in country. I can extend my visa. I can change my visa from EB to EG and get that for up to 6 months. It's basically called a looking for work visa extension. During that time, I can work. I can get a work permit and all that good stuff. And the only thing is, I will have to leave the country to change it back to EB, which is required if you're working. However, I always thought you had to do that as soon as you got your work permit, but that is not the case. You can actually stay here on that visa extension and work and all that good stuff until it expires. But now once it expires, you do have to leave the country for a day and come back in with your work permit and your letter from your employer, and then you can get a year, up to a year EB visa, because you will then have, of course, your work permit and all your paperwork in order. So bottom line is, I don't have to leave the country to extend my visa. I do have to come back tomorrow though, because I was missing a key piece of information. And that is my address. They have to verify my residency. The thing is, I don't have an address. So ever since I've been here, I tell people where I live, what's around me, but the building I'm staying in, the apartment, does not have an actual physical numbered address. But they need the commune I'm living in, the village, district, all that good stuff. That's all on my lease. However, I will have to talk to my landlord sometime today. So to get that information all from him, make sure it's all nice and proper. But everything else I have, it's $80. It will be $80 for a 3-month extension and $160 for a 6-month extension. And I think it's only I want to say 35 if I only went for a month, but of course I'm not going to do that. So, a little bit of good news to start out my hangover Sunday here. Had some noodles for breakfast. Got me my first cup of coffee. Yeah. And found out I don't have to leave the country this weekend. So all in all, a pretty good day, I think. All right, just gonna walk downtown, have a look around, see if anything's going on. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, it just occurred to me that I had forgot to show you my haul from yesterday that I bought from Tiffany. So I figured I'd do that now. First of all, Tiffany, if you're watching, I want to say thank you. It was great meeting you. She's a wonderful human being. Very smart, charismatic, really nice and easy to talk to. I was telling her that she's only the second American I've actually met over here. Now, I've met foreigners from all different parts of the world, but hardly any Americans, which I thought was kind of weird. But it was nice to be able to talk to somebody who understands, you know, what's going on back in America compared to here, and all that good stuff. But she gave me a really good deal on some really cool things. We got a spatula, a spoon, a strainer, a peeler, got a couple more forks, a couple more spoons, got a can opener, got another small cutting board, because right now we only have one. And so if you need to chop more than one thing, you got to do it separately. A little drying mat, which I didn't have before for the dishes. Excuse me. We also got an umbrella. Now, the reason for the umbrella, I couldn't figure out at first, because when Seng said we need an umbrella, I was like, why do we need an umbrella? I have rain gear that I brought with me from the United States. Quite expensive rain gear. That she pointed to herself and no, me. And I was like, oh, you want to stay dry when it rains too. Women are always like that. It's always about them. But I bought the umbrella. So now she's shady when it's sunny outside. We just went for a walk and she had her umbrella out. Keep away from the sun. And when it rains, she don't have to worry about getting wet. So yeah, I wanted to mention my haul from yesterday. Unfortunately, Tiffany is moving to Vietnam at the end of the month. And she's selling a bunch of things. But she's selling some bigger, important things coming up. I want to give you the lowdown on that because there's something I might be purchasing, a pretty big purchase. I'll let you guys know how that goes if I decide to do it. Anyway, that was my haul, and all of that only cost $9, by the way. She only wanted $9 for all of that stuff, and that is a good deal anywhere. So I'll see you guys later. All right, it is now Monday morning. Just went to the travel agency that was recommended for my visa I told you about earlier. Everything's fine. I decided to get a 3-month extension. It's called Sopikna Travel and Tour. It's right between the Thai Hoot Market and the Brand Clothing Collection store. Small little place. Very professional. Very, very well-spoken English. The nice lady that owns it. Very nice. Very precise with her words. Explained it to me in a way that even I could understand without making me feel dumb. She didn't make me feel unsmart. She said she gets a lot of foreigners in here, and there's a lot of confusion about the work permits and visas. So she explained it to me, and I shall explain it to you. My visa was EB. I just got a 3-month extension to change it to EG, which is looking for work. It's a single entry, which means as soon as I leave the country, it is invalid. But that is fine, because once you get a job, you get a letter from your employer. Then you do have to leave the country to change it back to EB, because you need the EB to get a work permit. I know that sounds confusing, but it's really not confusing. She explained it to me really well. Eventually, I am going to have to leave the country after I find a job, before I can get my work permit. But no big deal. My visa will be good. I'll be working. Everything's hunky-dory, fine. So, down here right now, I'm going to stop and get something to eat. Talk to you guys later. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you, there's a building right there. Sopikna Travel and Tours. Right between the brand collection over there and the big Thai Hoot Market on the other side. Just in case anybody's wondering about their visa situation, just go in there. Before you pay a dime, they will explain everything you need to know about your current situation and what they can do to help. Very friendly. As I said, they speak really good English and explain it perfectly. No problems at all. Anyway, just walking by there, thought I'd show you instead of just telling you. But we just stopped at the market after we got something to eat. We got a large selection of meats, or not meats, but food, including meat. We actually got a slightly more expensive pork product. This time it is from the loin. It's a pork loin. We got 1.5 kilos. Kilo is 2.2 pounds. So about 3.1 pounds, something like that. And that only came to $4.25. And all the other stuff came to about $1.75, $2 maybe. I didn't keep real good track because, like I said, I just give Sang money. I did get change back from what I gave her, so it looks to be just about right. So a little bit over, like $6.50 for everything you see here. And of course, as always, that will last us days and days and days. So yeah, I now have to go and get changed so I can go get those applications in at schools, look for a job. I wanted to take care of my visa first, since it's already the 22nd or 23rd. But anyway, my current visa would have expired on the 3rd of next month, and it usually takes a week to process, because they take your passport, you fill out the paperwork, they send it to Phnom Penh, and then Phnom Penh stamps it and sends it back to them, and you can pick it up. So timing is important. You don't want to wait until the day before your visa expires to try to extend it, because it's not going to happen, and you will wind up overstaying, having to pay a fee. If you get caught, you might even go to jail, and nobody wants that. So keep in mind, if you do come over here, give yourself a couple weeks before your visa expires to get that taken care of. And if you're in Siem Reap, use that agency I just showed you, because they are excellent. I did hear about somebody told me about a website that is specifically for English teaching jobs in Cambodia. You can search by city, and they will only have ads for schools that are actually currently hiring. If you look in normal classified, sometimes schools will put an ad for teachers, but that's only because they like to have a certain number of standby applicants, because teachers come and go all the time. They never know if they're going to keep their current teachers, or somebody's just not going to show up one day and never come back. That happens all the time, actually. Hello, hello. So most schools like to keep a lot of applications on hand, so if that happens, they can just make a phone call, get somebody in there the next day, so they don't have to turn the kids away, because if they do that, then they do not get paid. But this website, apparently, from what I was told, are just for schools that are actually hiring now, like they need teachers now. I have not checked it out yet, but I'm going to, and I'll give you my assessment. And if it turns out to be that good, I will let you know what it is. And if it turns out not to be that good, then I'll just forget about it and do the normal thing. Hop in a tuk-tuk with some fancy clothes and all my paperwork and go from school to school to school. But I didn't, but I needed to take care of my visa situation before I went and did any of that. Kind of backwards from the way I had it planned. I planned to just get up and knock out the schools and then go down there. But for me, nothing is ever really for sure until it's actually happened. You know what I mean? It's like yesterday he told me, no problem, you don't have to leave the country. But, you know, I needed my address. And I was so kind of concerned about that, because it had not happened. It just sounded good. I told somebody I was being cautiously optimistic. But now I can say it's being done. The money has been paid. And I can get on to the business at hand. But my first business at hand is to get me a coffee, another coffee, and get this food home to the fridge. Then I'll deal with the other stuff. Alrighty, I'll talk to you guys later.